Brings us on to the final team in this marathon podcast, the Washington Commanders.
Yep, almost like 3 hours at this point. Thanks for hanging with us. So, yeah, the Washington Commanders, I mean, look, their off-season was interesting. We wondered if they were going to get into the quarterback conversation, whether that was Aaron Rodgers. Probably wouldn't have gone there, but, made some sort of move. I like Jacoby Brissett. I keep half-jokingly say he's going to be the starter. It does seem like it's going to be Sam Howell after all. Look, I mean, they didn't really do a whole lot. For the last two off seasons now, they've kind of sat out free agency for the most part, which is, again, not a problem. I like their draft class. I think Emmanuel Forbes is going to be able to add weight. He had just had a remarkable ball production at Mississippi State in the SEC against very, very good players. I like Quan Martin or Jatavius Martin, another defensive back who might be their slot nickel guy. He kind of, I don't know, Kendall Fuller can be moved around a bunch more now, and you can do different things in the back end. Long answer short, I think they might have the best defense in the NFL, or they could, by the end of the season. The question becomes, How much does that actually matter? If the offense, which has a good receiving core, has an average offensive line, obviously bring in Andrew Wiley, bringing in a new offensive play caller, an Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City could help. It's just like, are they going to be, for the, nth year in a row, a really good roster, except for one position that happens to be quarterback?
So I want to give them credit for the bold move at quarterback that just looks different to the bold moves that we usually applaud. So Carolina, right? No quarterback answer. Let's go trade up to number one. We get our guy. Great. Outstanding. Love it. Bold move. Fantastic. Washington are basically doing the same thing, just with a guy that's on the roster already. They're going, no, Sam Howell is the guy. We saw enough in 20-something dropbacks last year and a bit of, practice footage. We believe in Sam Howell. And, Ron Rivera was on this podcast at the Combine saying, hey, if you go back a year, Sam Howell was supposed to be the number one overall pick, and then he ends up sliding to the fifth round. We believe in his talent. And Jacoby Brissett is exactly the quarterback you bring in if that's true, which is, no, he's nobody's plan A, right? Nobody wants Jacoby Brissett to be their starter unless things have gone wrong. But he's also more than capable enough where if the Sam Howell thing completely falls apart, you're not turning to nobody. You can actually win games with Jacoby Brissett. And he's, the veteran presence, the sort of the good guy for the room to have with Sam Howell. So I think there's credit to Washington for going with something that they could be interpreted as crazy. What the hell are you doing starting Sam Howell? That looks ridiculous. But, there's logic behind it. I think there's reasons to believe that Sam Howell could actually be a good quarterback going forward. He did look good in the 20-something dropbacks we saw of him. It's not completely beyond the realms of possibility. Their free agency, I think, added some solid players. Brissett, we already talked about. Cody Barton at linebacker. Andrew Wiley on the offensive line. Cameron Dancer has been a bit all over the place in the NFL, but has some talent at cornerback. And then the draft that they had, given that approach of we're not in the quarterback market, I think they added some interesting players there as well. Obviously headlined by Emmanuel Forbes, that same sort of outlier of 166 pounds at corner, which is concerning, but his tape is legit.
I think he was 172 at his pro day, so it's slightly less concerning as time goes on. But yeah, I mean, the tape is really, really good. And again, we talk about the skinny guys, his frame looks like a guy who could add weight. It just isn't there right now. Yeah, so look, I hear you, and I think Ron is true. We do have these swing narratives where he was getting mocked, Sam Howell, that is, first overall, and then he does somehow fall, into the fifth round. Maybe he is, a solid player, and you save a ton of money, and then can be, relatively competitive. It's just right. I keep falling in this trap every year where, I love their roster at so many spots. I don't know what they're supposed to do because they're always picking it literally the 13 to 18 range every single year. But, I just feel like they have the potential to be really, really good if they had a quarterback.
And Sam Howell, in addition to the 20-something dropbacks in the regular season, the dude dominated the preseason game that he started, late 70-something snaps or whatever that was, the preseason week 2 or 3 or whatever it is, the one where nobody plays. So the worst possible level of competition you can have in the NFL. He did look really good there. The other thing is, it's also, in this world where rookie contracts for quarterbacks are obviously cheat codes, the difference in a rookie contract between Bryce Young at number 1 overall and Sam Howell in the 5th round, like it's almost like a whole separate world of cheat code. Like they're basically paying him nothing. So if he actually can be a viable quarterback, the amount of extra money that gives them is madness.
Yeah, no, 110%. Then you are in the market of you can add any player at any other position you want to. Yeah, Bryce Young's going to make $40 million over his rookie deal. He's probably going to make $4 million over his rookie deal.
Right. So overall, that shook out to a B grade for their offseason, B for both free agency and the draft.